people want to know. It makes no difference what color they are. They want to know about where they live now. What was it
Exactly.
like? You know?
Had one lady, she read about us. She had never heard of Amelia Island. She drove from Alabama, took the tour, took her around the island. She got right back in her car and drove all the way from Alabama just because she heard about Amelia Island. She heard about what we were doing and the things, some of the things. She and her mother drove from Alabama to take
Yeah.
a 2-hour tour and
Oh
then
yeah.
drove back. That's how popular we have become.
Ron, I'm so happy to have you today on the show. And I wanted to talk. I know you have a tour business, and we're going to talk about that shortly. But this is also Black History Month, and I thought it would be important and informative to talk a little bit about Black History Month from your perspective. Ron lives here on Amelia Island, and he has a tour, a history tour that's kind of geared toward the Black history here on Amelia, which is great. I've taken the tour and I highly recommend it. However, Ron, so what does Black History Month mean to you?
Nick, it's American history. It's not just Black history. This is what happened to us in America. It just so happens that part of the things, some of the things that went on in America, we're not very proud of. But it's American history. It's not.
But it's our history.
It's our history. Exactly what it is. It's our history, and we're not, like I said, we're not proud of everything that went on in the United States, and we've sort of gotten through a lot of it, but I'm not really sharp on the Black history part. It's American history. It just happens to be a part of history we're not proud of.
Well, personally, I think I'm all for, when Black History Month started, there was controversy you could see, online about, well, why are they doing that? Why don't they have White History Month? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Well, I guess you could do everything from Boy Scout history to Girl Scout history to, the Italian history, the Greek history, and just flood the whole 12-month calendar with nothing but History Month. But
Exactly.
I do think, the more that we can teach our young people about where we are in this country and where our society is in this country and how we got here, I think is very important.
It is very
Uh,
important, Nick. Those things that we're not so proud of need to be taught,
they
so
need to
that
be taught,
so that it doesn't happen again.
so it's never repeated again. And when they started taking down statues, um, memorial statues and things in parks, I was not for that at all as a historian, just as you are.
Hmm.
To me, they were trying to erase history. And here's my take on it: we cannot erase history. We can forget it, but we can't erase it. But if we forget it and we don't pass it on to our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, then we may very well one day be doomed to repeat it.
You're absolutely right. And just so happens, this is the century anniversary of Black History Month since it started being recorded.
My God.
100 years ago in February, this is when they started recording the Black History. So this is a very, very, very special time for the month of Black History. But I agree with you. It's not going, if we don't do something about it, and
Keep teaching it.
we have to teach it. We have to
Yeah,
teach it.
we
It
have
has
to.
it has to be taught. There, and in my case, my focus is American Beach. Uh, it's where I grew up. and I remember being there. I remember all the fun times I had, and the times I said when I'm an adult, I'm going to get a place here. But American Beach is now gone to skyscrapers and just not anything what American Beach is like. But then it's progress. I guess they call it progress. I'm just one of the old heads who don't want to see change.
Well,
I see some of the houses and I said that's a pretty house, but it just doesn't belong on my beach.
that's right. You know my stand on it. I feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
Not
Oh
just
yeah.
American Beach. You can go to Main Beach right here on the island. It's the same way.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was
Exactly.
telling somebody just yesterday how things have changed. My grandparents, they lived on North Fletcher, and back in the 40s, on North Fletcher, my grandfather just fenced off an area in the backyard. They had a horse
Mm-hmm.
right here, Fernandina Beach on North Fletcher. They had a horse, and then somehow I never got the whole story, but they came in custody of a baby deer, a fawn,
Mm.
and that deer became a pet. Yeah, so that the horse and the deer shed the stable and the fenced in area.
Mm.
They'd take the deer, and the deer would follow my mother anywhere she went. The deer was following her. And
Wow.
my uncle, I got a picture of him on the horse. The horse's name was Chocolate Boy, and he was on Chocolate Boy riding it all up and down Fletcher and on the beach. There wasn't any houses. There were, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lots. Nobody thought about buying them. We didn't have
Uh-huh.
anybody here. And
Uh-huh.
American Beach it was hopping, especially on holidays.
Uh-huh.
It was hopping. And I told you, we used to sing, and we would start on North Fletcher with a Jeep pulling a trailer, and we would sing. But when we got to American Beach, I'd jump off of that Jeep and I'd run up to, was it the Rendezvous, I think?
Evans
Yeah,
Rendezvous.
that's right. I'd run up there, and they all knew me. And I'd get an orange soda in the
Mm-hmm.
bottle, and any peanuts, pretzels, whatever. I remember they'd they'd pour a couple bowls in a bag and give them to me, and out the door I'd go.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I had to get back on that Jeep, or I'd be left there. But no, everything has changed, Ron. But the one thing that hasn't changed is our history. But it will be forgotten. And if more folks feel about it the way you and I do, they got to get busy and teach it to their children. And I think, young people learning this, I think they have a better perspective on, their country and family. I don't know what's your feelings on that with our young people. I mean, I
I
know they
think
need to learn as much as they can.
I agree with you, Nick. I think the young people um are not as hard nosed as we are about the things.
Yep, you're right. No, you're right. It's almost. I worry sometimes, about all of our history, not just Black history, but
Kids going to school together, playing ball together, because they don't talk about that at all.
no,
You don't hear them talking about it at all. The
no,
old heads like ourselves, we talk about it, but
yeah,
you don't hear kids talking about. I mean, partly because they don't know, but partly because they don't care. I mean, that's my friend next door. He could be purple or polka dot. It doesn't matter. He's my
yeah. No,
friend,
you're right. You're absolutely correct.
and
Yeah,
and that's so I think we may be in maybe another 200 years or so, we may be able to get out of this thing of, you know, um, separating the two races or separating the race from any race from anybody.
yeah,
I
yep,
think the country is becoming brown, that there are a lot more people from other countries and they're not, completely Caucasian people and they're marrying, people are marrying and kids are having kids and grandkids and it's our country's becoming brown, but it's not like we want to take over the country.
Oh, no,
it's just what's
no,
happening in our country.
yeah, but we are the country,
We are the country.
Yeah,
We
all
absolutely.
my Greek heritage, my wife, Irish descent, but we are the whole country, but I've never seen black or white. I see
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I've done that my whole life. And I've got a dear, 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 dear friend. He and I have been friends since 1965, and he lives in Arlington, Texas.
Hmm.
And Howard and I talk several times a week, and we have,
Hmm.
all these years. But we're just family. That's all we are. He's part of my family. I'm part of his family.
No, that's great. That's great.
And that just like you, I mean, you're a brother.
Yeah.
I
Oh
don't mean
yeah.
that in a racial way. I mean that you are
Oh
truly
yeah.
a brother.
We are family now.
That's it. You got it.
Nick. I tell my wife. I,
And by the
well,
way, let me just interject something right there. You mentioned Avis,
mhm.
beautiful, beautiful wife. You have grossly overmarried. I just want to put that out. You have grossly overmarried. Now go ahead on with your statement.
I've got a friend. I've got a real good friend. His name is Bob Allison. I'd like to introduce you to him one day. He lives here on the island. Bob
Okay.
tells me all the time. He says, "Son, you have outkicked your coverage. You are." He said, "You are way over your head when it comes to that."
Well, maybe you are. Maybe we have. I don't know. But I
Yeah,
do know this: you can't stop. You got to keep moving, and
yeah, without a doubt, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving.
that's
I,
exactly what you're doing. You're moving. Let's Ron. Let's talk just a little bit about Coast One tours.
okay.
Um, when did you and Avis actually start Coast One tours?
Coast One's tour started one year before COVID, and we've been in
Whoa!
business for 5. Yeah, we've been in business like 5. But then
I,
we had that one year where nothing, not a whole
yeah,
lot happened.
nothing was going
Yeah,
on.
no, yeah, but we started like a year before COVID. You didn't know, but I used to have a company here called Coast One Couriers. I had I had a I had a menu of almost every restaurant on this island, and you could order food. I'd pick it up. I'd go pick it up,
I
bring
didn't
it
know
to.
that. I heard of that business, but I didn't know
Yes.
you owned it.
So yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that was
wow.
at Coast One Couriers. Yeah, I had Coast One Couriers. We when we just when we decided to do this, we just kept that name Coast One. It was still in my name. I still had the rights to the name Coast One Courier, Coast One, and we started. But she thought that I used to kind of do this for free for my friend with my friends. She thought it was way too much information to be given away. So, and then we kind of like needed a tax shelter. So we started the company, but it's always been a part of my heart to uh to share American Beach and to share the island with my friends. And when I talk about it, they all say you should be mayor. The way I promote this island and tell them about the number of restaurants and the number of banks and the number of police that we don't have. And we only get the newspaper twice a week. I tell them, you're actually in Mayberry. You are truly in Mayberry, and they absolutely love it. They absolutely
Yeah.
love it.
And
'Cause-
another thing too, Ron, is I had a little tour business too, but the people, I mean, we have so many newcomers.
yes.
They're starving for this history. I
Oh,
mean, they
yes.
want to know what was it like, what was here, what they're starving for it.
5 of them, those tourists have been white. They're white people. White people want to know what's going.
And yeah,
Not
yeah,
not just the ones who are moving here, people who are coming from other places. They want to know what's going on in our on this island and its history. And they're very and I've heard some of them like I never knew this island had so much prominent, so much history, so much meaningful history. They really enjoy it, and people and I really promote this island. It's way more than when on my tour I promote way more than American Beach. I mean, the grocery stores. I mean, the hospital that we have, the police that we have, the pharmacies that we have. I really promote the beach because I mean the island because I think is the more I promote the island, the more people will come, the more people will take my tour.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's that, but it reminds me when you said, a lot of the your guests are white people.
Yes.
To me, it's kind of like if you look at life as a cruise ship. We're all on this cruise ship, all of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we're in the main dining room eating.
Mm-hmm.
Captain comes on and says, "Folks, I hate to tell you this, but we're sinking." Now, we don't look at our wife and say, "Honey, don't worry, it's not our part of the ship."
No.
No,
Yeah.
we're all going down. We're
Exactly.
all going to get wet.
Exactly.
So, what I'm saying, yes, people want to know. It makes no difference what color they are. They want to know about where they live now. What was
Exactly.
it like? You know,
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
the
I had one.
episodes that I've done, people, they love them.
I had one lady. She read about us. She had never heard of Amelia Island. She drove from Alabama, took the tour. I took her around the island. She got right back in her car and drove all the way from Alabama just because she heard about Amelia Island. She heard about what we were doing and the things, some of the things. And she and her mother drove from Alabama to take
Yeah.
a 2-hour tour and
Oh,
then
yeah.
drove back there. That's how popular we have become, and more people are interested in us. I can remember, Nick, when we would have off seasons and we'd lose 2 or 3 restaurants until the weather got warmer. But now we don't have off seasons. We don't have. I
No.
mean, any day of the week, any week of the year, you can
Yeah.
walk down the street and there's just hundreds of people, and it's all good for our island. Like you said, we're all in this together. It's
Well, I can tell you I mean, I was born, I'm old. I got a birthday coming up. I'll be 79. I remember I was born in 47, but in the 50s and the 60s and even the 70s, I mean, every year you had folks coming here from Southeast Georgia, and that was about it. They would come and rent a house on the beach for a week or 2 weeks, maybe two families or three families get together and do it. Today, oh my gosh.
they're from
I
all over the
mean,
world.
it's like Grand Central wherever you go. I mean,
It
there's
is.
people coming
It
and
is.
going.
And the
It's
fun,
it's amazing.
and the funny thing about it is, Nick, when I look at television, everybody's talking about the Florida real estate market and how horrible it is, and don't go to Florida. And I, one time, I don't remember what the president said, but he said something sort of negative, and we got a call from a guy in Oklahoma who called us and said, "Is that hurting you? What is?" He said, "Stop going to Florida." So this guy called us, this reporter from Arkansas. He said, from Oklahoma. He said, "Is that hurting your business at all?" I said, "No, because I mean, people are still coming to Florida, and especially this part of Florida, we don't have spring break here. We don't have that kind of stuff here. So it's really 365 days. It's really nice here on this island. It's a
Oh my
beautiful place. I love this island. I
oh,
love this
me
island.
too. This is well, I've never lived anywhere but here. This
Yeah,
is this is the only place I've ever lived,
yeah.
and I've never left except from 1964 to 1967. I was in the military over in the army, and other than that, this is home, and I have no intentions of leaving. And my son, this is home for him, and he has no intentions of leaving.
Yeah, yeah, I,
And but where would I go?
yeah,
I can't really find a better place than this, in my
exactly.
and and I love the history of this island. I can't get enough of it.
I'm like you, and believe me, I have met a few Nick Dionis's. I have met some of the nicest people. I
Yeah,
mean, not. I mean, there's only one Nick Dionis,
I
but
don't mean. Well,
but
wait a minute. I'm not saying I'm nice, but
you
there's a
understand what I'm
lot of
saying.
folks out there.
There are a lot of nice, and a lot of them from other places, and they just want to live. They're not looking for any handouts or anything special. They just come here and they want to live. They want to
They want to live.
experience what we have to offer, and I remember when we got married, my mother-in-law said, "I'm for your wedding present, I'm going to send you on a vacation." He just said, "I'd live on a vacation." She told her mother, she said, "I live on a vacation. I am always on vacation here." Because
My wife Lenny has said the same thing.
my wife,
Honestly, I'm telling you, she has
she
actually said the
she
same thing.
she
Yeah,
had never
she
been
said
here. She had never been here before meeting me.
yeah, it's like we're on a constant vacation,
Exactly,
all the time.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, so tell me, because I really want people to know how to get in touch with you.
Okay.
They want to book a tour. So, do they call? Do they go to the net? What do they do?
Yes, yes. You can get us. You can find us on almost any of the social medias. We're
Okay,
Coast One Tours,
Coast One.
COAST, the
One.
word ONE Tours LLC.com.
Okay,
We're here 7 days a week.
okay.
You can book a tour from 9 to 4 right now because it gets at
It
five
gets
o'clock.
dark so
It's
quick.
dark. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Um, you can call us. You can go online and book the tour, or you can call us, and my wife will walk you through everything. She'll give you restaurant suggestions. She'll give you hotel suggestions. She's really, really, really heavy into customer service. She's really that
Like
is
your personal, yeah. She would become your personal like concierge or something.
she is that. Yeah, she
Yeah,
is
to
that.
give you
She is
advice.
that. She is that.
Uh,
If you need to be picked up from the airport, she'll make sure that that happens. If you need to be taken back to the airport, she'll make sure that happens. It's really and the number.
Ron, you know what you're really saying, and I don't know if you realize it. You know what you're really saying
Tell me
to people that are looking at this? Welcome to the family. That's what you're saying.
exactly,
Welcome to the family.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
and it's true.
Oh yeah, yeah. We are
Welcome to the
a family.
yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
our phone number here is 904-635-9081, and you will talk to the most pleasant lady. And if she doesn't answer immediately, she will definitely call you back, and you will really, really be happy talking to this lady because she is so conscious about customer service. She is really, 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 it's not like she goes out of her way. She absolutely loves it. She
No,
loves
that's
she
her. Yeah,
she
this
loves
is
the
she doesn't put on a show.
no, she
And
doesn't.
this is her. I mean,
Yes, it's her.
she loves everybody.
She likes doing it almost as much as I like doing the tours. I love doing the tours. When I'm doing the tours, I'm thinking, where else would I rather be than talking to these people about American Beach and Amelia Island? Nowhere,
No,
nowhere,
nowhere.
nowhere.
I'm telling. I love it. When I do lectures, I can't wait to get there to do the lecture.
Yeah, yeah, really. I know what you mean. I
I'm
did
working
one.
on a new lecture right now. I used to do it on boat building and the shrimping industry. I'm working on a new lecture right now of Fernandina from 1853 forward, because in 1853, that's when David Yulee, everybody moved from Old Town, which was Fernandina,
Huh?
to New Fernandina, which is what we know today.
Huh?
And and then little things like on March 23rd, in 1876, we had a terrible fire downtown, lost
Mm-hmm.
over 50 something buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it was decreed no more buildings built out of wood.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
so you see, that's why everything downtown now is brick.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm working on that new one, and in fact, I will present it on October 20th. I'm doing a lecture to the Genealogical Society.
Oh, that's great.
That's when
That's
I'll
great.
do that.
That's great.
That'll be the first time I'll do that lecture. But I'm really looking forward to it. I've got to finish it. I got to polish it up a little bit. But
Uh-huh. Well,
well,
the same thing
Ron,
happened. The same thing happened
I,
to Jacksonville in 1901. Jacksonville burned to the ground.
yeah,
Today,
yeah,
Jacksonville burned to the ground. They decreed that nothing else will be made out of wood. Everything will be brick from now on. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's conflagration. A fire will start and then it'll jump to the next building, the next building, the next building.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. And of course, back then, I mean, we're talking 1876.
Mm-hmm.
So the fire departments were not what they are today. And they just didn't have the capability or the equipment needed to put out something like that. So
Uh-huh.
all they could do was just try to control it, and they couldn't even do that. But no fault of theirs; it was
Oh
just
yeah.
too much.
So Jacksonville was actually 25 years later
Yeah,
was actually
ours
25.
was 1876. I'll be doggone. I remember, reading about the 1901 fire in Jack. Well, Ron, we're going to do this again, folks. We're going to have Ron back on, probably on some kind of a regular basis. And but we'll always have a good topic to talk about. Amelia Island, Fernandina, and just life in general.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, just life in general. Ron, thank you so much. I honestly mean that. Thank you so much to you and Avis
Thank you for
for
having
being.
me, Nick. Thank you
Yeah.
for having me, buddy.
Oh, listen, we're
This
going
has
to do
been
this again. Yeah.
this has been so. We had to actually had to do this yesterday for the ViStar Bank. Yesterday morning, I was doing the same thing for ViStar, but I'm promoting our island as much as I can and promoting the business. I love this island. I don't want to be anywhere else. You couldn't give me a house in Miami or Fort Lauderdale. You couldn't give it, not for me to move on. I love this place. I love the island.
Well, folks, I will tell you this: Ron and Avis Miller, they have my 1,000% endorsement. And if you really want to enjoy some history, I highly recommend give them a call. Ron, thank you so much for being here. And folks, thank you for tuning in. And we will see you probably next week.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick, for having me.
God bless all of you.
Thank you.